Guardians, in case you are not completely aware at the moment, there is an STD running around Destiny. Actually, there's 5 of them. And I say STD because it's a space-transmitted disease. Get it? STD? Anyway, guys, basically, yeah. So these STDs, what are they? Well, there's Brilliance 3.2, Glory 2.0, Splendor 2.6, Magnificent 2.0, and Fortitude 3.1. Basically, you get these STDs for going through and basically getting killed with a super, and then having to kill the person that killed you. That's how you get them. Cool. I think it has something to do with the orbs, or I'm not quite sure, but yeah. Anyway, that's how you transmit them. So you can go through, you can pick up 1 of them off somebody, or 4 of them, or 5 of them, depending on how many the original guy has. Apart from that, we don't know a lot. They say at the moment that they are buffs, which is great, terrific, sweet. However, this is where we're getting into this speculation part of the video. I suspect that these STDs are actually going to be nerfs. There is a little bit of a rumor mill going around at the moment. People are talking about these possibly coming through and nerfing players. And this is kind of what I wish maybe might happen. So basically, I think that when you go through and Rise of Iron comes out on literally like a day away or a day and a bit, that you will actually have to go through and do a mission to clear up this STD. The reason why I'm saying that is because there's references to certain missions and stuff like that in the notes. I will be fully explaining this at the moment. I'm just giving the brief outline. So in this mission, it basically goes through. They talk about the Dusk Palace. They talk about these mites that are going around the Guardians. And it's basically just a whole lot of mumble jumble about, logs and chats and stuff like that about them trying to cure these electronic mites and this STD. So with that, I actually went and did the archive first and realised that was kind of a bust because there was nothing really different there. But a friend of mine actually went through and we glitched our way into this area of the Dusk Palace. Now, this video will be showing you how to do that. Just on that, guys, I wouldn't suggest grabbing the ghost or the calcified fragment that I show you in this, just because of the fact that when the story mission does actually kick into play and you actually do get to go down there legitimately, it will actually bring up a Glimmer card, and it probably will give you some extra details or trigger something. So, for me, I left it. I left all the stuff there. I just showed you where they were. It's up to you whether you grab it. Personally, I'm saying don't. So, in these transmission logs, they talk about the Dusk Palace. And knowing that, we went through and glitched our way into this new area. Now, guys, this new area is actually pretty interesting for a couple of different reasons. The first thing is the name is Clovis Bay Exoscience. Guys, obviously it has a very, very sort of medical field sort of feel to it. And in fact, the whole room itself looks like a very much like something you actually get when you go and do the archive mission. So maybe doing the archive wasn't a complete bust. But anyway, and that's what I sort of got the impression from that. Not only that, but also the chat logs and stuff as well. As you go through and read them, they are actually talking to a Professor Shen. Some of you may actually be fully aware of that name because that's the name that they actually mention in the archive, which is why I went there. Also, guys, it looks like in the missions as well, or in the chat logs, they are actually talking to a Cora Ray, or abbreviated to IR. And in fact, they actually go through and actually mention her name a couple of times, just so you obviously get the reference between IR and her. And it goes through and actually talks about that. So what do I think this whole transmission thing is? Okay, so basically the first thing I think is that you will have to go to Ikora Ray. She will say, hey, you have got an STD of sorts. You need to go and do this mission. This mission will actually take you down into the game, into the area that we were actually currently exploring. Once you go in there, you get some sort of injection or some sort of fragment or something. You pick it up, you use it, and it cures the STD and you become immune. That is what I think is going to happen. Now, I would love the fact that some of these, like there are 5 obviously different strains. I would love these 5 sort of strains to have different perks, like for example Brilliance. Maybe it makes your intellect go down a little bit. You know, Splendor maybe drops your agility, maybe, or something along those lines. You know, maybe one of them will drop your light level, just to obviously make it a little bit harder for you to go through and do this mission. If that is true, then that obviously means that the people that have all 5 of them are going to be in a hell of a rush, or a hell of a time, because they're going to be nerfed to the shithouse. But like I say, this is only a theory. And then obviously once you go through, you clear that room, you complete the mission, you get the injection, you are cleared. Then obviously you don't have to worry about going through, and you'll be cleared of these mites or STDs. So that is what I suspect is going to be happening with this. The reason why I suggest this room is actually important is because of this point here. If you look closely at that monitor, you will notice that there are 5 sort of blended colours all together. You can actually see the colours for Brilliance, Glory, Splendor, Magnificent and Fortitude all on that top monitor. Sort of that monitor that looks like there's a filter over it. That to me is interesting, and I suspect that that monitor is where you go up to where you actually go and get that injection. Now, a big shout out to KSI Nova 607, who's my mate. He was the one that went through and showed me how to glitch this way into the area, so big shout out to him for that. And like I say, guys, basically KSI and I were just basically going through and just exploring this area. Now, there is a fragment, there is a ghost. I suggest personally not grabbing those, because you're probably better off waiting for the story mission to come into play. Let's face it, we're not going to forget about them, we know where they are. So I would personally wait until the story comes in before you grab those. And in fact, KSI actually, we sort of sitting in the room talking, and we basically agreed with each other that that monitor definitely looks like the colour schemes for the viruses. And, you know, being an exoscience and everything like that, it has a very, very mystique sort of medical feel to it. Now, he also did come up with the theory that maybe it has something to do with the Galahorn 3 or Year 3 because of the name of the medical science, or the name of the building. But I suspect maybe, possibly, I might make another video talking about that, but very quickly. But no, I think this is to do with the infection clearing it up. So, what do you guys think in the comment section below? Do you think that you will have to go to Ikora to get a clearance or to get the mission, and that Destiny will make you go through and do the mission to clear up the virus? And do you think that these infections will go against you as becoming nerfs? Because it does mention, obviously, when you have the virus, that it is until the infection runs out, which we are suspecting will be actually Rise of Iron. But let me know what you guys think in the comment description below. Do you think that's going to happen, or am I just talking a load of shit? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please slap a like on it. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. And guys, big shout out to KSI Nova 607, who showed me how to glitch my way into this area.